Hi everyone, I am Ketra. Today we are going to do a reading, and the intention of today's reading is to how to go from this, which is the devil, that is addictions, that is thoughts, that is things that bind us in our mind, to this, which is temperance, healing, balance, being able to take one thing and mix it into another. So that is the intention that I set for the reading. That is the intention that I set for my meditation when I channeled some messages for you guys. So what we're going to do is we're going to use Oracle and we're going to use Tarot to kind of see where you're at, where you're going, and how you're getting there. So with that in mind, again, thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for subscribing. I appreciate every single one of you. Let's go ahead and get started. So we're going to go from this to that. So how do we do that? We're going to use the Soul Echo Akashic Soul Records Oracle to kind of take a dive into where you're at on your soul's path right now. Why are you in that devil mindset energy, and how can you get to the temperance energy? Okay. Emotional crossroads. Haha. I love my guides. When you really connect to your guides and you're able to build a relationship with them, and I set my intentions for the readings for you guys, they are so clear, and I'm just having a moment of gratitude. So emotional crossroads. You are torn between two strong emotional pulls. Confusion arises when heart and mind clash. Pause and let your feelings settle before choosing. That is so fantastic. You could be in the mindset of thinking that you are bound by the way things were, the way things are, the way that you think things are, or you can take a look at it as, this is my situation, and I can turn it into the situation that I really want, the life that I really want, the mindset that I really want. I really feel like this is a mindset reset kind of time for you. We're going to use Soul Contract Oracle to just, again, kind of just tapping into that soul. What does your soul want you to know right now as you're in this transition, this emotional crossroads? You have beyond boundaries. Break free from limitations and embrace the limitless potential of your soul. Expand beyond boundaries and step into your true power. And there is the door. You're just being asked to step through it right now. So it's like closing the mind to one way of thinking and opening the mind to another way of thinking. Our situations in our life, they kind of like bind us to thinking that we can only do one thing. This is the situation. This is what I have. Like, let's say it's finances. I can only do X, Y, and Z. But what if you can change the way that you think? You change the way that you think, your circumstances will change, because you're not binding the universe, God, source, to what it is that you think. You're opening yourself up. You're being asked right now to open yourself up to the opportunities that the universe wants to offer to you. So let's take a look at where you're at right now. So I'm going to ask my guides to show me through tarot to help direct my thoughts of where you're at right now, because it's pretty clear that you're bound right now. You feel like you're chained to your thoughts. And if you look at the card of the devil, those chains are very loose. Those are self-inflicted boundaries that you've put on yourself, right? We all do it. The first thing that I channeled before I lay out the tarot cards was stop. Where are the thoughts coming from? Where in your body do you feel them? That is so important, because those are the boundaries that you've set. Well, I feel this way. Well, ask yourself, ask your soul, well, where is this coming from? Are they limiting beliefs? Are they limiting thoughts? Is this really what you want to say about what is happening in your life, or what you want to have happen? Just kind of go through your chakras and kind of check, where is this feeling coming from that feels like you can't? Is that your mind with the circumstances? Or is it like your sacral chakra, like you just don't know how to be creative enough to accomplish what you want to accomplish? So just do like a mind, body, soul check. Your first card is the Ace of Cups. And I just laugh because the Ace of Cups, it's like the universe is showing you a gift. It's asking you to check yourself. Where is it that your cup is empty, and where and how can you fill your Ace of Cups? You have the Chariot, and then you have the, why am I running out of room? the Ace of Cups, the Chariot, and then you have the Two of Cups. That's so fantastic. It's fantastic because what this shows where you're at, you're being asked to ask yourself, where can I fill that cup? Then you're being asked to move towards it. And then you're being asked to make that decision to do so. So here's your Chariot that you're literally able to step onto your soul's path. Where do you feel super aligned? How can you leave the past behind? Those past thoughts, those binding thoughts, how can you move forward into this temperance energy and be able to take your situation and turn it into something completely different? And then it's so great because you have the Ace of Cups. You move forward. You have the Two of Cups. So that Two of Cups is you making that choice with the divine, with source, whatever you resonate with. It's you emotionally figuring out. And it's so great because Temperance, she's got 2 cups right there. So this is literally where you're at right now, is you have that opportunity to take that choice of diving into how your heart feels and making it so. So then we're going to go ahead and take a look at this is where you're at. This is where you're going. So show me where they're going. So say they figure out, they're able to understand that they're at an emotional crossroads. They fill that cup with the thoughts that are not binding them. They move forward because they've made that choice. Where are they going? The Star, the 7 of Wands, and the 6 of Wands. So where you're going, Spirit is asking you to just focus on one thing right now that would bring you joy and happiness and peace. What would take you beyond the boundaries, that limiting thoughts? What would it be? Because again, if we were here sitting and doing a collective reading, which of course you could go to my website, it's tarotandsoundhealing.com. We could connect together emotionally and figure out what is your star. What is the direction that you would like to see your life go in? And then you have the 7 of Wands. So let me clarify what I'm feeling with the 7 of Wands. Because you have the 6 of Wands after. The 6 of Wands is a card of celebration. And so the 7 of Wands wants you to be able to figure out, there it is. It wants you to figure out what your boundaries are of what you're willing to take anymore. So the 7 of Wands, you're standing firm in what it is that your North Star is, what it is that would bring you joy, happiness, peace, and love, all of those cliche things. But that's really what you're being asked to do right now, is to define what it is that you want. And then you're able to feel it. It's going to feel like an aha moment. The 6 of Wands is like a celebration. It happens after the 5 of Wands, right? The 5 of Wands is all that chaos in your head of all of the thoughts that bind you, because they're ambitions, they're wands, they're the things that we want to use to create our life. But then you've moved past that. You're standing firm in what it is that you want and what you believe to be your true happiness, your star. Like, what it is it for you guys that you really want to focus on moving forward. It's going to give you that feeling of, I could celebrate if I had this mindset. But you can, and you do, and you will. So that's where you're at, where you're going, but how are you going to get there? So what is going to help you release those binding thoughts? What's going to help provide that harmony and healing? 6 of Pentacles, just having that, and the Sun. Okay, and the Knight of Cups. Okay, so this would be your best course of action. Your 6 of Pentacles. So the 6 of Pentacles is taking time for yourself, setting those boundaries for yourself, and then being able to give some Pentacle energy, some Earth energy, some actual you energy into what it is that you want to do to be able to create that balance. And then here's the Sun. You feeling just amazing about what it is that you want to do, because again, it's a collective reading, so for everyone it's going to be different what you actually want to do. But if you focused on what it is, what brings you that happy, joy, love kind of feeling, which is the star, which is the Sun, that's your star, that feeling right there. And if you're able to figure out and tap into source, you'll be able to know exactly what it is that's going to put you into this sun energy. This is the Disneyland happiness of tarot. This is the happiness of your soul being like, this is the direction that I want to go. And I see you doing that. The Knight of Cups, he's very protective of what it is that he wants to do forward. And in this card, I just really feel like you're shutting off the negativity. You've got this one thing that you want to do, which is part of your soul's path, and you're just taking care of it, like you're protecting it from everything else. It's like that Seven of Wands card. You're standing firm in what you believe to be your true path, and you're just going to go ahead and move forward with it. So I love that for you. But you're being asked to set those boundaries and then stand firm in what it is that you believe is going to bring you your true peace and your true happiness. It's releasing those thoughts that bind you, that say that you can't. So when your soul is out of balance, you're not connecting to source, is one of the other things that I wrote down that I channeled for you guys before I started the video. It doesn't have to be this way. It does till it doesn't, right? So if we get stuck in our minds, we just feel like this is the way things are. Until it doesn't, until you have that aha moment, until you realize what it is that you want to do, and then it brings you into that sun energy. And it's that, this is the other thing that I channeled that was, it's going to hit for some, and then it's going to hit later for others, I kind of feel. It's that moment before an accident, the knowing to look up, before the accident. Have you ever been driving and then like all of a sudden you just kind of hear look up, and then look up, and then you're able to avoid an accident. You're able to avoid something that's coming your way, right? And that's literally something that I saw when I was channeling, is that situation has happened for me. So I try to discern, okay, well, how do I translate that for you guys? It's that gratitude for understanding what is and what could have been. It's taking that breath. So that was a message that I know I needed to share with you guys. Also, promises broken that can be mended. So sometimes when we are in life situations and we're dealing with things, and then there are promises and they were broken, allow yourself the time to have them be mended, whether it's promises that you've broken or promises that others have broken to you. So then there you go with that devil energy, but yet you're open to that healing. You're open to having one situation turn into another. And then this one was really strong. They are just thoughts, not reality. Devil is not real. It is the reality that we create. Healing is real. So I just wanted to leave you guys with those messages before we go. I'm going to go ahead and do 3 cards of advice for you before I let you guys go, and probably get an angel message. So what are 3 cards of advice for them as they're taking one thing and turning it into another to provide that balance, that harmony, and that healing? You have the Lovers, and you have Death, and you have Temperance. Wow. So you have 3 major arcana cards. So whatever it is that you're going through is very significant in your life. So I don't discount anything that anyone's going through, when I can, the way I feel is it can be simplified the way that we look at it, right? But this is major for you. So your 3 cards of advice being the Lovers. So I love these cards. They're so beautiful. I love to use them when I'm looking at the shadows and I want to go towards the light. So if this is your 3 cards of advice, the Lovers are asking you to just connect. They're asking you to connect to what it is that you love, that star. What is it that you love? Connect really closely to what that is. Have that 7 of Wands kind of boundaries, because it says go beyond boundaries. So your boundaries right here are what you're no longer willing to accept from others. So you're going beyond your boundaries right now. You're allowing yourself to think way outside of the box. Death is you transforming into this new way of being. This new way of being is what your soul is asking for. It's asking for you to step in and for you to transform. And then Temperance. What is it that you want to do forward? What is it that is going to be able to provide you with that harmony and that healing? That's amazing. So if you're able to tap into the lovers, and then it's so fantastic because it's temperance. It's the devil to the temperance. It's the transition to what it is that your soul is calling you to do. I'm trying to I'm a little paused because I'm trying to feel what it is that they're wanting me to share with you. It's that when you make the connection to connect to the divine, the love that's within you, this will cause the transformation to just happen. And then that's what provides you with it's just so amazing because it is what we were going for with this reading, with the intention of the reading, is to get away from that devil energy, and that you're doing it. You're able to provide yourself with that harmony and that healing. And I love that for you guys. So let's go ahead and we'll get one more message from the angels. I just think it's a beautiful thing that when I can ask Spirit to help me guide you guys, that when I said this is what we're starting with and this is what I want to end with, and that Temperance is what we're ending with. So I just absolutely love that for you guys. I don't know why I'm crying. I think I'm so connecting to you guys that are so deeply searching for that harmony and that healing to unbind our thoughts and to unbind our mind, and that this is what we're all searching for, right? So your angel message is anxiety. I inhale peace and exhale worry. The angels come to comfort you and to remind you that you are not alone and that assistance is accessible to you if you need it. Take it as a message that you need to make some time for yourself to unwind and concentrate on self-care and let go of what you cannot change. So those are your angel messages. So I love this reading for you guys. So thank you again for watching. Until the next video, take care and have a great rest of your day.